Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Tea, You and Me, our weekly show that we do for SWAM business audiences. Every small, women owned, and minority owned business should be tuning into this show because we try to make sure we bring you not just the best information, but the best people who care about the SWAM community, who are very, very involved with working with entrepreneurs and other business leaders, trying to do everything we can to make sure we uplift one another and that we share all the information that we possibly can share with each other. Now, I've been doing this for nearly 20 years now. And I haven't been doing the show live because COVID-19 made me do the show live. But I used to have a program every week at my local Panera Bread. And I would have sometimes 20, 30, 40 entrepreneurs in the room just talking, just chatting it up with each other, just sharing information. And I said, you know what? I got to figure out a way to bring this live. I got to figure out a way to bring this back home where business leaders and entrepreneurs can do the same thing. And now we've expanded. We have people to come on the show from all over the world. And I'm proud to have the guests we have on today. You know, Miss Gail Walker and Miss Wanda Pearson. These are two powerhouse women that have a lot to share, a lot of information, and they're so smart and they're so talented. You're going to love them. I can't wait to introduce you to them. And listen, if you've been watching this show, then you know what to do. But if you please share it and don't keep us a secret. Make sure you let everybody know. But if you're coming to the show for the first time, do me a favor, post everything you need to post in the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from, how long. If you've seen the show before, just give us a shout out. Let me know you saw us before. Tell us your name, the city you're coming from, any links that you may have to your websites or anything, because we are small business friendly on this particular show. So we don't want anybody to have any reason to stay unseen, unheard, unknown, and we're big on engagement. Anytime that you see something or feel something that you want to express, go ahead and throw that in the chat because you never know who's thinking the same thing, is experiencing the same thing. I love doing this, and I love creating opportunities for entrepreneurs and business leaders. It's what's my passion. It's my life. I've been doing this probably since I started my professional career. Yeah, that's been a while. I'm not even going to tell you how long it's been, but I think the gray is starting to betray me. So we try to make sure that we bring you guys, everything we can. Now we're getting close to my 100th recording every Friday since COVID-19 started. And so if you need to take a look back, you can always take a look back on YouTube, on Facebook. I think I started on Facebook first, so it's going to be more stuff on Facebook than there is going to be on YouTube, or vice versa. I can't even remember which way it goes. If you have a question, if you have something that is burning in your heart and your mind, and you need to notice about your business, do me a favor, put it in the chat. Don't wait. I don't want you sitting around waiting for some information to magically appear from the sky. If you got something going on that you need some help with or whatever, you never know. We might not be able to help you directly, but the chat is going to be something that people can follow up on and come back to. And so it's going to be interesting. You might be able to get just the perfect advice from the right person, and you never know, but you got to put it out there or nobody will be able to help you. One of the greatest things, I learned from my daughter, who's a senior, graduating senior in December, by the way, at Howard University. She's studying theater administration, looking for internships and jobs. Anybody got an opportunity out there for her, let me know. But one of the beautiful things about what she shared with me, I remember when she was very young, and I don't know where she got it from because it sounds like an old saying that maybe she got from her grandpa or granddad, but I know she didn't get it from one of hers, so she might have got it from somebody else. But the saying goes like this: closed mouths don't get fed. So if you got issues, you got problems, you got situations, and you keep that stuff to yourself, there is no possible way that anybody can come and help you. And even more, and this is the key to what we're going to be talking about later on today, if you don't allow others to become a part of your success, you are robbing them from the opportunity to be meaningful, to be specific, to be involved with what you're doing for and be relevant, and to make sure that they have a level of distinction in their own lives. Because we never know what we're doing and how effective it is until somebody says, you know what, I need that. I want that. I'd like to have this in my life, whatever that is, a product, a service, an idea, a concept, whatever you're doing, You never know how you can support somebody. So I always encourage people to share what they need, share what they're doing, share what's going on with them, because it's going to be so helpful to others. Sometimes just to let them know that you're not alone. You're not the only person experiencing this. You're not the only person thinking this. And it's critically important that we open up a dialogue specifically within the small business community, because entrepreneurs are lonely. Entrepreneurs are literally left to their own devices, trying to build everything all by themselves, do everything all by themselves. And it's, first of all, hot stoppingly stupid and very, very difficult. Because you cannot be a specialist in everything that you need specialization on in your business. It is literally impossible. I don't care how smart you are, I don't care how talented you are. You need other people. And I want to highly encourage you. I know the Western world and the Western thought says, I did it my way, it's my way or the highway, it's all about me. But I'm telling you, that is not the truth. The truth is, none of us gets to do anything significant, relevant, or meaningful without others. And so, this is my job. I see in my life is to try to help people begin to understand how to identify the people that you should be working with and attract them and create opportunities that are going to be magical for you and for them. I love win-win solutions. I love people, and I love people working together, because I know that's going to be the difference in how we come out of this pandemic in an amazing way. It's not going to be the one person with the great idea. It's going to be the teams. It's going to be the organizations. It's going to be the unification of so many collaborative partners beginning to all contribute to something meaningful. And that's what I hope we do here in the show. So if you have an idea, if you have a concept, if you have a thought, anything going on with you that you need help with, or anything that even you want to express an idea or thought, just throw that in the chat. Don't be scared. Don't feel like somebody's going to leave you alone, or because it's not going to be that way. I promise you, I will respond uh, when I get back to the office, or I have an opportunity to sit down and really chat it up. But one of our other people might respond. So definitely put your questions out there. And by the way, I just realized this. I have a bad habit that I started a long time ago. For those of you who know me, you know I'm an introvert. And so anytime somebody asks me a question and I don't absolutely have the correct answer, I go back and I do all the research that you could possibly imagine. In fact, I do so much research, I end up putting training manuals and guides together that'll help people who ever ask that question again to deal with it. And over the last 20 years, I think I've gotten every question that anybody could ever ask me when it comes to developing small businesses, and I got answers. And so don't feel like you're putting somebody off or whatever that is by asking your question, because I probably already wrote a manual on that, and I can just put that in the chat for you, and you shouldn't have any problems. Miss Gail has got some stuff in the private chat that she wants to share, just her name. But make sure you put your contact information and your email address and anything that you want people to know about you in that chat, Gail. And I know you can't do that, Wanda, because you're busy driving. But when you get a chance and you get a stop, just make sure I'll let everybody know how to find you and how wonderful you are, because I got some links to your stuff already. So I don't need you for that. I'll do that without you. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you two powerful women. That's I mean, there's so much more to say about them, but and I want you to know I haven't we didn't grow up together. I don't know these ladies, from a long-term relationship. I just met, them this year, as a matter of fact. And I will tell you, I am phenomenally impressed with both of our rock stars for this afternoon, this panel. I'm coming up with a new name for our business panel that we do every week, because I just started doing the panel about 2 months ago. But I'm going to call these our Swam Business All Stars. So if you make it to the panel and you get invited to show up here, I've already identified you as a Swam Business All Star. You're a person that Swam Business can go to. They can call on. They can do whatever they need to do, and you're going to be in a position to help them out. And so I know for a fact that Gail is a project manager extraordinaire. She's the kind of person that can keep your business on point. She can keep you moving ahead. She knows how to make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. You do not have to worry about anything if you're working with Gail, because she gonna make sure it's all done really, really well and right. Importantly, not just well, but right, and that's an important thing. And Miss Wanda she comes from a social work background, and much like me, she identifies with people. She cares about people. She cares deeply with people about people, and the resources that they have to pull together. And she's got some great products and services with prepaid legal, and she's so I should say legal shield with Legal Shield, and she's so powerful. I really pulled her in because she's developed the marketing genius that I think all of you all could learn from just watching. And so I'm gonna post some stuff from her that I shared on LinkedIn. Definitely connect with all of us. Definitely take a look at everything that we're going to be putting up for you guys today. And I'm gonna start the party off with Miss Gail. I'm gonna let her introduce herself right up front. And you know what? I'm gonna go with Wanda. No, Wanda's still driving, so I'm gonna let Wanda find a moment where she can, when she's clear. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready to go, Wanda, and I'll bring you on. Okay, fair enough. All right, ladies and
Hi.
gentlemen, without further ado, this is Miss Gail Walker, superstar. Tell us
Oh,
all about yourself, Gail.
hi, and thank you again, Marvin, for having me on the show. My name is Gail Walker. I'm the CEO of GH Consulting, and we also operate under the brand GovPros. So, with GH Consulting, we help entrepreneurs and small businesses, and government contractors to build, market, and grow their small businesses. We operate under GovPros. GovPros is strategically focused on government contractors to provide all the services that they need in order to enter into the government marketplace and to do business in the government marketplace. So we've created a marketplace platform for them to be able to come on and get the services from freelancers that are on our platform. So that's called GovPros. And
Awesome,
that's what we do.
awesome. So tell me, Gail, how long have you been doing this, and what excites you most about what you get to do every day?
Okay. For GH Consulting, I started off back in the 90s as a government contracting company offering administrative support. And then over the years, I shifted and moved as things needed to happen into consulting, and moved from, moved from doing on-site consulting to virtual about, I don't know, about 15 years ago. I saw that there was a shift in technology. So I made the shift before everyone else made the shift. So I was pretty much, I strategically placed myself ready for when everyone else caught up to doing business in a virtual way. So what really gets me going is ideas, myself having ideas, other people having ideas, and coming to me and saying, hey, I have this idea, but I don't know what to do. My mind starts churning. And because I love to figure things out, I love to help. I love to help people build. They call me the build it expert because I'm always building something. If I'm not building it for myself, I'm helping other people to build the dreams that they have in their minds, the ideas that they have. I help them to bring it to the market.
That is absolutely awesome. I told you guys, she's a rock star. She's also a pioneer. I love a good pioneer. In fact, just today, I realized that this month is National Hip Hop Month, right? So Hip Hop History Month is this month. And
Mhm.
I didn't even know. I never, and I'm a hip hop head from back in the day, right? So I grew up in the '80s and in the early '90s. That's when I first became an adult, and I realized, when you get to be a pioneer for something, you're like one of the first with that idea. You're like one of the first to generate the thought process, and we knew that, you know, before COVID-19, we all knew that the business game was going to change,
Mhm.
but very few of us did anything about it.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's true.
you were already in that. You were already going, okay, we need to make sure that, we are digital. We need to make sure that we're okay with virtual and using that space. And, that's a great thing because, you know, I remember somebody was telling me the infrastructure of a lot of foreign countries was digital because they didn't have the other infrastructure in front of it. So they've been
Right.
doing this for a long time. In
Right.
India, in
Korea,
China.
Japan, China, big tech countries, right?
Right, right,
Hmm.
right. So I bring this out because I want people to know that when you're working with, Gail, you're not working with a slouch. She's been in this for a minute, right? So she's not just like, I'm just figuring it out like you are. Oh, no, 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 no. Because in fact, we're gonna be partnering together on some things, and Gail is keeping me to task. I will tell you right now, she's keeping me to task, which is a great thing, and because I need that. I'll be all over the place. Like, I got a new idea for this and a new idea for that, a new idea for this. And Gail was like, sure, whoop, let's focus. Let's get it done. Let's get this done. And she's, everything she says
Yeah,
she's gonna do,
just
she does it right then. She don't play around. It's right on task. It's right on time. And thank you so much for just being you. I'm gonna put you backstage now because I got to bring Wanda.
all right.
I got to bring Wanda. Okay, let me give you guys just a little information before she shows up. Let me just tell you about this young lady that I'm about to bring to the table. I'm talking about impressive, 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 equally yoked. All of the things that you think you might want to think about when it comes to bringing somebody on your team or having somebody that want to work with you. And I know a lot about what her products and services are because I'm also a prepaid legal distributor, but I don't sell it anymore. I just sit back and collect the money. So I've already done what I need to do when it comes to that, and I have to broaden my perspective. But I now help people put teams together who could do any product from any network marketing program you could ever imagine or anything else because it's all about the team. And you're going to find out a little bit more about that a little later on. But I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Wanda with recently with a Brazil's organization. Many of you don't know Mr. Brazil. Limba is just an amazing person, and he's been a networker here in the Northern Virginia area where we are for many, many years. And he and I have been, working on each other's projects and helping each other in many different ways. And this bright, shining star showed up in the meeting the other day, and I was so like impressed. I'm like, in fact, here's the deal: the speaker for the morning was asking what was she. We had a chance to ask the speaker some questions, and she asked the speaker a question about how she could do better with her video productions and so on and so forth. And the speaker told her, hey, you're already doing it. Why don't you just trust yourself, right? And you already got this going. Let's keep it going. And it was so impressive to me because I realized most of us have a lot going on that we already got going on. We just don't know how good we are at already what we do. And we need to have somebody every once in a while just say, you know what, you good. Keep the party going. Just we, but it has to be somebody who knows what they're talking about, right? So it has to be an expert. You can't have just it's right to have your cheerleaders, your family, your little children and grandchildren and stuff like that. Say, hey, yeah, you're doing good. But that's not the same as knowing that you have colleagues and people out there who are going to be like, okay, I see you. You might want to tweak this, or you know what? I've analyzed what you've done. I see what you do, and guess what? This is amazing stuff. And it's better than most, and it's true because I did the deep dive myself. I said, let me go check Wanda out. Let me see what she all about. Let me see how's it all working, and everything is excellent. Let me just bring it to the table right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce you to Miss Wanda Pearson. Wanda, tell us all about you, baby.
Hey, how are you, Marvin? Thank you so much for having me on here. Women do whatever she got to do. I'm coming from a meeting, so you see me driving, but I'm being safe. I'm on my Bluetooth, but I am so excited about being on your show. Thank you so much, Marvin. So just a little bit about myself. So I actually, when I was a young girl, I said I want to be a social worker, but not knowing that God's plans for me were to have. I did the social work, and then I said, okay, it's not enough money in this, but I still want to help people. So I got into, actually, I was hired at IBM. IBM for 36 years, corporate. Knew nothing about sales, knew nothing about networking. And I said, you know what, it's time for me to get out of corporate. So I retired with the old pension plan, thank God. And when I got out of that, I said, what do I do next? So God had me do BNI, which taught me how to network, and also get into other networking groups. So I started jumping from one network group to the next, and I became known, Marvin, as a networking queen, right? So the networking queen, selling our services, Legal Shield, which is so important to everybody because, and when I saw what was happening in this world today, I said, you know what? Everybody needs access to legal protection. They need to protect their legal rights. But what really got me was when I was seeing a lot of things that was going on, with the traffic stops, for our people. But it actually gave me the incentive to say I need to get out here in the community and do more. So when I got there to do the community to actually network with different groups, COVID happened. When COVID happened, I said, what do I do next, God? So what I actually ended up doing was creating my own brand, my W.D. Pearson Associates, which is educate, empower, and consult people on our services, but also to do collaboration and connecting with other businesses, small businesses, because I want to help small businesses as well. How can I help small businesses, Lord? So every day I get up on my affirmation, what do you want me to do next? What next? So God put me into a space last year when COVID happened, and my daughter was my graphic designer. She created my logo, W.D. Pearson Associates, and I started connecting with other small businesses, collaborating. And I'm going to tell you something, Marvin. I said I would never do Facebook Live. And we talk about video. I didn't think I could do this, and I did it. I actually just got on there and I said, I want to be like the mini Oprah. Well, I don't get paid like Oprah, but I want to just get out and actually help other businesses get out here and see how we can collaborate with the legal services as well as consulting, other businesses and families on how protecting their legal rights is so important. But not only with W.D. Pearson Associates, I also became a speaker, and that's where I met Bazille. We were a speaker on one of the platforms, and also Bazille had me be the MC on his platform for a conference. So this is all something new. And people said, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. You can do it. So I started getting on other shows and doing speaking, and it just became where, how do I do what next? What do I do with W.D. Pearson Associates? So it's really, and Marvin, thank you so much for the tips, because actually the meeting I was in today, I'm on my way home, so you'll see me in the car. But like I said, women can make it happen, right? Men too, Marvin. But we try to make it happen. And I'm sorry the sunlight. And we have sunshine here in Atlanta, Georgia, so you'll see the sun going on off. But it's better to have sunshine than rain, right? So just being out here and doing something for other people, that is my passion. How can I help other people with the passion that I have to let them know, to educate them on our services, as well as collaborating with them, because like I said, all families deserve that protection, but also small businesses deserve protection as well. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm actually got a lot more. Oh, and also, Marvin, I actually have a collaboration book coming out. So everything that I said I would never do, I would never write a book, I would never do Facebook Live, I would never do this, God said, oh, yes, you will. And that's what he's been doing. I've been just tracking on to do what I have to do. And I said, I just ask him every day, what do you want me to do today, Lord? Give me my goals. So that's where I am, Marvin. That's what I'm doing.
That is outstanding. So I got to tell you, two things you said that I got to key in on. First things first, yes, women are super powerful and y'all can do everything. And we need to bow down and make sure that we respect that, because I've been a happily married man for 30 years, and I have learned my lesson about trying to take over everything and do everything. You gotta get your support and your help, and it's nothing like a team. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that today. Thank you so very much, Wanda. The other thing you said that was key is about the video. If you're not doing video, you're not doing it. I promise you this. The generation coming behind us, they watch. I've seen studies. They watch 65 videos a day. If you want their attention, the last thing you want to do is write it down, and publish it. Now, I hate stereotype, but for my generation, if you don't write it down, you don't have no credibility. Because we don't get excited about videos and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't mean a whole bunch to us, but but it's still an important, powerful communication medium. And I'm so glad I didn't shy away from it because I don't like doing them either. But I know that they
Yeah.
have to be done. If you're going to be effective, you've got to do it. And you got to do it. And I'm so glad that you're stepping up to the plate and you're not acting like, oh well, I can't do this, because we would be missing so much. It would be like a disservice to the community to miss what you have to offer and what you bring to the table. Prepaid legal is an amazing opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't have legal shield, shame on you because it's something that you
Yeah.
absolutely have to have. It is impossible for you to understand it all. Don't even think about that. Just know that you need something in your back office. You need something that is going to support you. When you have that question, that legal question, that you don't know where to go. Guess what? You have them in the box, and it only costs you, especially if you're a home-based person. I think it's like $40 a month or something ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
not to have it for your identity protection or your motor vehicle issues, anything involving your business, which and I'm all about the business. You got to have the protection. I've
Yeah.
had it for years, and it has saved me so much money. I can't thank them enough for some of the work that's been done for me. The cease and desist letters, the power of attorney, the opportunity to get letters drawn up for collections and stuff like that. It's crazy what they offer in the small business world that you have to pay a lawyer $400 or $500 an hour sometimes to do it, especially if you have an LLC, because you can't represent yourself in court. So you need to have this prepaid legal plan because it's just an amazing tool. So I'm gonna say anything more about that because I'm gonna let you call Wanda because she's amazing. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you're my commercial, Marvin. Thank you so much. You are saying it all. I appreciate that.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm gonna put Wanda backstage, and then we're gonna do a little bit to just talk about the topic we're gonna have today. And before I get into that, I want to make sure I give a shout out to our studio audience who've been blowing up the chat. Oh my God, my girl from I Define Television is just an amazing superstar she's down in Atlanta too, and she's enjoying a little bit. She wants to say this to Wanda. She says Wanda's a ray of sunshine without a doubt, and she better do it and keep it going. Oh, that is so true. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Again, if you're in the studio audience and you have, a question about anything, or you want us to post any information about your business or announce anything that's going on in your business, definitely put that information in the chat for me. I have some stuff out there already posted for you guys. If anybody needs to see the link for today's show in terms of the resource guide that I put together for you. I'm going to put it right up. It's right there right now. But you can go right to the chat and download it either on Facebook Live or on YouTube, which is what we're simulcasting for. Don't forget to like us. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to come back. Don't forget to share an episode that you love. If there's something going on that you want to give us a shout out and it's working for you, definitely say something because that's how we know to keep doing that good stuff, right? Feedback is everything. So if you don't give me no feedback, I'm gonna assume that I'm the greatest thing since sliced cheese, and you don't want me to get a big head like that. So give me the feedback so we can get this thing popping and get it right. Okay, next thing I want to get on to is our topic today. If you have a chance to pull that resource guide down, then you're going to see that we're talking about one thing. This is the 8th step in the 9th step process of building your professional relationships. Your professional relationships are the most important success factor to anything you're ever going to do. Everybody always says, well, if you know the right people, then things are easier for you. That is true. If people know, like, and trust you, that have power, that have the ability to lift you up, that have the ability to support you, and that is exactly what they want to do. There's a couple things I want to share with you about human beings that are always true. We all want to be meaningful. We all want to be relevant, and we all want to be significant. The only way we know we're doing that actively, live, and in person right away is when somebody says to us, thank you. I really needed that. I'm glad you're here for me. it makes so much of a difference for things that you've done is making a big difference to me. Nobody buys your product and service because they want your product and service. They buy your product and service because they want the benefits that your product and service and working with you offers them. And so you've got to be really good at what I call benefit speak. In fact, I have a whole manual about that as well. How do you communicate the benefits that you offer? Not just the product or service, the facts or the features of that product or service. How do you communicate the benefits? Benefit of what I offer as a coach is literally helping you make sure that you are approaching everything you need to approach with the right amount of energy, the right amount of focus, and a superior idea about how you're going to be more productive. That is the benefit. I processed that, I accomplished that. When I created the Vision Quest 90 program that only lasts for 4 months and has a 100% money back guarantee, I knew that I had something amazing, because this is something that if you don't know how to do really, really well, then you're not going to be anywhere near as successful as you want to be. But I realized even in that, Marvin didn't create that by himself. I had tons of people that poured into me and my entire professional life and experiences that helped me shape the ideas and the concept that became the trademark program that literally everybody benefits from. And so it's very, very important. And if you want to know about that benefit speak, definitely hit me up in the chat or hit me up in a private text message or something like that, and I'll make sure you get it. In fact, let me make sure I put my little streamer across the top here. There you go. That's how you can get in contact with the coach, the 9-step guru, just in case you need to do that. So let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is about putting the winning teams on the field, making sure that you're doing everything you can to really understand what the benefits are of team and how you use team correctly. Now, I say correctly because, I'm a big methodology person. I don't believe that you should shoot from the hip when it comes to people. I believe you need to have a well-written, well-structured, well-oriented plan. And when you're planning to win, you're going to win more often, bigger and better than you could really truly ever imagine when you make the plan. Here's how it works. 2 key concepts when it comes to planning I want everybody to understand. If you find yourself planning by yourself, you're wrong. Because you might come up with an initial plan or initial concept by yourself, but you quickly need the benefit of the team. You need everybody pulling together on the team to help you orchestrate your plan. That is how your plan becomes bigger than you. It is critically important that if you're planning something that you can handle, if you're planning something that's easily done all alone, if you're planning something that doesn't require or need anybody else to do it, your plans aren't big enough. They're not going to be exciting enough. You're not going to be able to sustain it if anything happens. A quick hiccup might happen, or a disability or an issue might happen in your life, and it's going to take you off track, it's going to take you off plan, and you have no support. That's what happens to everybody. I don't want you to be everybody. I want you to be somebody. So think about how your plans can be truly, truly amazing with your team. You have to have such a well-organized, well-respected group of talented individuals who come together and help you orchestrate a plan that's so big, it's not limited by you. Okay? When you've got a team that's working together well, you got a team that's imaginative, and you got a team that is already successful as individuals in their own right, you're not trying to be successful, they're not striving for something, they have already arrived. When you put your plans together, those plans are going to be plans that are limitless. Let me say it again. When your strong, trusted team plans together, those plans are going to be limitless. Because what you can do by yourself is limited. But what you can do with 5 or 6 other people that are all super talented, super gifted, super blessed with whatever they bring to the table, but all committed to share their resources and ideas and talent, guess what? That thing right there is unlimited, no matter what it is. Right? So if you find yourself working by yourself, again, you're limited. If you find yourself working with a group of super talented team members, and by the way, if you follow all the steps that I put in the 9-step guru process, You follow all those 9 steps that we've done in previous shows. Go back and watch the show, starting with show number 1. You'll get through every one of the steps and get to this 8th step. You'll already have people around you who you know you can just cherry pick and put them on the team. All right, it's gonna work phenomenally. I promise you. That's rule number 1. You can't do it by yourself. You got to do it with the team. Rule number 2, and this is actually the most important rule. It should be rule number 1. Your team, if you're doing plans and you're not doing plans that are literally larger than yourself and the team itself, meaning you need to have a blessing to make this thing work. You need to have the input from a higher power. You need to have something that's in it that is going to require a spiritual advantage. If your plans are not like that, they're not going to be well established. They're not going to be foundational. They're not going to be game-changing plans. You're not disrupting anything if you're not bringing something that is literally otherworldly into the planning process. You know, the Bible says your plans need to be, your plans put together well will be established by God if you bring God into the planning process. If you bring that into your plans, if you bring that into your structure, and if everybody is aligned properly, and no matter what their race, color, creed, or situation is when it comes to gender or anything like that, that doesn't matter. What does though matter though is an alignment to a higher truth that you all are an understanding of, and you guys don't have to have the same religious background. You don't have to even have a religious background, but you must understand that if your plans are not well established and foundational, it's because you're not considering the spiritual aspects of everything that's going to happen to what you're going to do. Now, I already told you rule number 1, you got to do it with your other people. You got to do it with your powerful, super powerful team. You got to do that. Rule number 2 is you got to give it to God. You got to give it to a higher power. And if you can't do those things in your planning process, then you're going to find yourself failing more often than you should. And you're going to find yourself not able to recover even when you do fail. And you're going to find yourself not really getting to places where your stuff is sustainable. Because you want your plans, you want everything that you're doing to be sustainable. You don't want it just to be, oh, I got it to this goal. No. It's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be bigger than that. You people need to see your team winning, and then when they see your team winning, they're going to want to be a part of it. And you're going to have a second team and a third team and a fourth team, and you're going to have people that your bench is going to be long. For those of you who understand the sports analogies, out there. It's good to have a deep bench. It's good to have somebody that, when somebody falls off the team for whatever reason, an injury or a process or whatever, you can go to the bench and pull somebody else up off the bench and go, okay, it's your time to shine. You're in the big game. This is how the best teams are ever made. One of the biggest examples I have to share, and I got to go with a sports analogy. I'm going to quit it on the sports analogies after this one. When you look at the first 7 years of the NFL, what you're going to recognize is the championship game was won 5 times in 7 years by the same team. Who was that team? That team was the Green Bay Packers, led by none other than the great one himself. When this coach decided that he was going to put this team together, he knew he couldn't just put anybody on the team. He had, the Lombardi Trophy is dedicated to greatness. So you can't have people on the team who are not ready to play. You got to put your great teams start with great team members. And so you can't be afraid to ask for and work with the best. Even people, if they're better than you, that's actually good. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let any of that stuff trip you up. You got to be working with the best people, not the best people you can find, the best people, period. And if you find that you're not working with the best people, you need to replace them with the best people, because that's how you get the best team. Now obviously you have to treat them well and you have to take care of them. We talked about that in the former steps, but this one is all about planning. So once you've already got an amazing team together and you're not using them to plan and establish your skills, then you're wasting their gift. You're wasting the collective talent that you all have. And then you guys talk about, well, how do we get to diversity, equity, and inclusion? It's already baked in if you do this right. You don't have to go backwards and try to figure out how to retrofit it after you've already started something, because you already have a team that loves each other. You already have a team that respects each other. You already have a team that understands that everything under the sun can't be done by them alone, and they have to work with other people as well. And so that's how you get to where you need to go. All right, so I'm gonna let um, our executive coaches and our SWAM business team come back in and play with us for a little while. I'm sure you guys may have some ideas to share about putting a winning team together and all that kind of stuff. So anytime you want to, just jump right in.
Um, I agree that you have to, whatever you're building, it must be bigger than yourself. Even though it's your idea, the idea needs to be bigger than you. Um, and it's scary. So fear will set in. But even when you're afraid, it's really important that you learn how to move through by facing the fear and moving through it, because what you're going to come and find is it wasn't as bad as you thought, right? And so don't allow fear to stop you from what your destiny is, from what you're supposed to be achieving. You'll never achieve anything great if you quit or if you don't start. You're going to fail. It is a given. You fall, but always fail forward. Don't fail back. Failing forward means you get up, you dust yourself off, and you put another foot forward. Failing backwards means you fell, you failed, and you said, I'm giving up. Don't do that. Just keep moving through. Don't allow the fear to
Mm-hmm.
stop you, and always dream bigger than yourself. I don't have one project that's on my plate that is not bigger than me. And I'm constantly having to look to see who I can help in order to make it become, come into reality. Like GovPros, there was a lot of people, and I'm still looking and to work with other people to be able to make sure that it reaches its full, its fullest potential. I started out of something that someone asked me to do, but me building out a television network, a television and streaming network called Build It Nation, to help professional small businesses and entrepreneurs to learn, build, and grow. And I mean, it's been crazy because, like, within a matter of weeks, thousands of people have jumped on to, follow the page and everything. So I had to start creating, real content. And so I started small and slowly but surely setting up, studios. You have to just, when something says, hey, you need to do something, just go ahead, plan it out. Don't just, you have to plan it out. You don't have to have a full-fledged
Mm-hmm.
all the way out plan, because some things you have to have a plan that's good enough until you get other people who can make it better. But move forward with your plans and don't let it die in what I call the black hole of doom.
I know that's one of the things I shared with.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
You had something you wanted to share, Gail? I mean, not Gail, but Wanda.
Wanda? Wanda?
Yeah, no, yes, I agree. But Gail, 100%, girl. If I had let fear stop me for what I'm doing, then it'd be a different story. I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's just really from the fear, because I mean, growing up, in Chicago, I was told, "Oh, you're never going to be anything." This is from my stepfather, but I had the faith to keep going on, to keep doing what I had to, and to create what I created. even though with our services we have, but that fear is something that actually makes you have doubt in your mind as far as your business or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But Marvin, I love how you stand it for as a team. When I retired, I actually got into international. So the fear of going international and how am I going to do this, that actually helped me to create my team, which is my virtual assistant out of South Africa. That is so important because you need a team to be successful. But Marvin, I love how you talked to me yesterday about I had a team with my services, but I said, but they're not doing anything. So, but I don't let that stop me. I'm my own. Me and my husband. My husband retired. We actually just do our own thing as far as how we can help others. But the fear, like you said, I call it fear is the
Mm-hmm.
devil, faith is God.
Yeah.
So I like to make sure that I have that faith. And when I do have that fear, I just ask, please take over this fear. We make mistakes. From the mistakes, you learn how to grow, right? So that's something that actually you learn, and a lot of people say, I can't do this. I can't, my father. My father's actually was a successful regional sales manager with Miles Laboratory. He said, Wanda, he said, can come in cans. It was a can come in cans, but you cannot. Don't ever say you cannot do this. Always say you can do this. And that's how I actually ended up taking more after my father because I said I would never be a salesperson. And that was a fear that I had in me that I could never do this. But then I said, well, I can do this. So having that can do attitude takes away that fear and doubt. Does that make sense?
It makes
Mm-hmm.
perfect sense. Our girl from I Define Television is here. And she shared another quote with us that's just amazing, and it's true. You're never fearful when you're in alignment, when you have the right people with you, when you're doing the thing the right way and it's aligned with the universe. There is nothing for you to fear ever. Yeah, and it's really, what I fear more than anything else is not failure on a personal level. It's failure in an alignment. Because when I find myself, distracted and doing something that I don't have no business doing or being someplace where I don't have no business being, I'm out of alignment. And that means I'm wasting God's time. Don't get me preaching because because I will. But it's important to know
Mm-hmm.
that we're all here for a reason. We're all here for a purpose. And to sit around and act like, you know, you know, tomorrow is a given, to me is a waste of the energy that we all have to share and what we have to bring to the table. And we can't do that. Every one of us is a blessing to someone else. It's just a difficulty. It's just about being willing to go find out where we are, who we are that blessing
Yes.
to, and how we will work with them to manifest the
Yes.
destiny that's already in front of us. And that's just my true belief, and that's just kind of where I come down on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And I think a lot of people make the mistake of believing that they're all alone, and no one really is.
Yeah. You know.
There are people out there who want to help you, and they can help, not just want to help you, but can and will if you just invite them.
Yeah.
If you let that, if you realize that, if you have a mission or a calling on your life or a purpose or a reason that you know about, then you need to share it with people so that people can go, oh, you know what? I'm with you on that. I feel you on that. I want to be that. I want to do that too. So I mean, go back to this last coaching analogy. The reason why I shared, what's going on with the Green Bay Packers is this. You know, every football team wanted to win a Super Bowl. Everybody starts off at the beginning of the year, and that is their goal. Now, what if they approached it like, you know what? We know we can't win the Super Bowl. It would be good enough for us to just have a winning season. We just want to, win a few games here and there, and that'll be all right. What would happen if they approached it like that? They wouldn't even win one game. That's what would happen. you know,
Yes.
because they're not trying. They know they're not. The motivation, the effort, the blessing, everything can't happen when you plan small. You
Yeah.
can't. You gotta plan big. You gotta go big. You can't be afraid of big. And I think a lot of small businesses, they are afraid of big, and it's not that you have to have a big business. You do have to have big plans for your small business.
Yes.
Even if you're going to be in personal services or whatever it is you're doing, if it's not sustainable, and it's not sustainable if it's just you, it's just there's no way you can lie to yourself and say you got a sustainable business that's just you. you know, and because it would be lying to yourself. You are not all powerful. You're not all wise. You're not all knowing. You're not all. You don't have limitless capacity. That
Yes.
only happens when you have an amazing team. When you have an amazing team, you can have the safety and security of knowing that we got this. We can do this without question. I know these people, and I know the people, they know me, and there's trust in each other, and there's belief in each other's talents and capabilities, and we can rise, and we will rise together. There is nothing like it. Go for it, Gail.
One of the things that I wanted to mention is when it comes to the small business community or entrepreneurs, um, it's still a fear. It's still coming from a fear-based place, right? Where they want to hold on to their ideas because I don't want anyone to steal it. Or, if I share this, someone else is going to do this. But the fact of the matter is if something is for you, and no one can do what you do better than you or like you, it doesn't matter how hard that they try, they can't,
Right.
because the thought behind it is the intentions behind it that you have, and it's just who you are. Your being, your authenticity is going to shine through. So not only don't hold on to it, be okay with partnering with other people who are not like you, who don't think like you, who don't believe like you, because they have they have a way of seeing things that's different from you, that can add to whatever it is that you're doing or want to do. They don't have to think like you.
I am so glad
They
you
don't
shared
have to
that.
think like you. They don't have to
I'm so
be
glad
like
you shared that. Because a lot of people are going to hear what I said earlier, and they're going to think, well, he's a Christian. If people don't work with, if you're not a Christian, he don't want to work with you, or something like that. And that is not what I am saying.
you. Yeah.
I am saying, you have to have people who believe in something bigger than themselves,
Themselves.
right? And I don't care what it is,
Yeah.
it's got to be a belief in a higher thing than what is even possible for you in your human thinking
Mhm.
to conceive. Because if
And
you don't have that, then your plans won't be they won't be established. They won't be foundational. It won't be something that you can
right.
depend on. It'll be something that okay. I talk about this a lot. So if I've shared this with you guys before, just blow it off. Don't act like I never talked about it before. But here's the thing: you ever work with people who achieve something big like one time a long time ago, and then they can't seem to figure out what to talk about other than that one thing they did 20 years ago? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like
Yes.
The
Yes.
and you can't live in the past. Those people can't let
Absolutely.
go of it. You see it a lot in sports, right?
Yeah.
When they leave that arena, you see it when someone was a very powerful individual that fell. They can only think, talk about those things because they won't allow themselves to have a vision of what is supposed to come next. They think that, okay, this is done, so I'm done and it's over, and I'm just going to sit here and, mull over the past and die. But no, because no matter how old you are, the fact that you still have breath in your body means that your purpose here is not done. There is still things of you, there's still things that you're supposed to give to the world, and you're not going to leave until you figure out what that is and you give it. Because it's a shame, to me it's a real shame of people who are crossing over and have left nothing behind for those who are still here. There's so much
Yes.
we can learn from each other. That's the big thing that's happening in the world right now. I mean, really, can we talk about the fact that just 2 months ago, 4.4 million people left their jobs? Something is happening on a
That's right.
level that is beyond.
That's right.
Beyond. So there is something that we know that we're supposed to be doing something different. That fear, let it go, because that fear is nothing but the devil. I'm just saying, it is only there. It's your subconscious that is trying to prevent you from being hurt. But look, getting hurt isn't going to kill you.
Hurt
So
is normal.
be okay. Hurt, actually, when you get hurt, those things, you get to learn from those situations. Everything
Absolutely.
that happens to you, nothing goes unused. Everything is here to teach you how to do something, to be better, to do better, to think better, to act better. So I'm a strong proponent in what you say too. We've got to shift in the way that we've thought. You can't think the way you think anymore. And in business, big businesses are coming to realize that they can't do business the way that they used to anymore. It will not get you anywhere. It's over. And
Yes.
to hold on to the past of, this is the way that you have to do this. And for people who are still giving people the advice of, you have to, the brick and mortar way. Well, brick and mortar is going along, and online and virtual is here to stay, and it's only
Right.
going to get bigger. So you
Right.
have to now restructure yourself and say, how do I operate in the world that I am now living in, but not just living in now, but how am I going to make sure I'm positioning myself to be successful in the future? I need to learn how to pivot. People get stuck in the pivot. You have to
Yes.
learn how to pivot, because nothing is going to remain the same. The way we're doing things now is not going to remain the same. You want to know why? Virtual reality is going to take over.
That's
So
right.
you have to consistently keep, so the
Absolutely.
systems that you build, you better be building it for virtual reality. So, because most of the people are no longer want to live in this reality. They want to do everything in a different reality. So
Go on, Pastor Walker.
building your business to be
I'm
able to
telling you,
tap
Dave, go
into
ahead and
those
preach.
people, building your business to tap into those people, that's the future. This is the way that your mind has to be moving in a direction of the way that the world is moving. You don't have to be of this world, but you live in the
Absolutely.
world.
Absolutely.
And you need to be able to tap into those people. So whether it's churches are changing the way that they're reaching people, and they're finding that the way that they're reaching people, because they pivoted, those that could not pivot
Yeah.
died. Look at all of the big companies from the past, when they became incapable of pivoting, when new businesses came up with new models and they refused to pivot, they died. And the only places you'll find them is in backwards places off the highway,
Yep.
because they are not really into technology. But the rest of the world, they are. So your business needs to be building towards reaching people. You have to make yourself be authentic. You have to come to people authentically, because they're going to see right through you. You are transparent in an environment like this, because everyone can find you. You have to make sure your business is constantly thinking about, how are you going to reach who you need to reach next.
It's so important. Wanda, you got something you want to throw in
Yes.
here?
Yeah. Listen, Gail just preached it all. I tell you, the thing about it is, when we went into COVID pandemic, I had to pivot, right? Because I was a networking queen. I was out there, at the different business association and networking groups. And I said, okay, how can I do this? And the first thing I said, Gail, and I tell you, I said, what is your passion? Because that 9 to 5, after I left IBM, it's not going to be there. I said, you're going to have to learn how to get on social media to be able to present yourself with your business, right? So pivoting was my biggest word. And I said, how can we help you to move ahead and to get rid of that fear? Fear comes back in there because people are scared to do that, right? They're scared because I was scared to do it. I just never thought I would be on Facebook Live. I never thought of what I was doing here. But I knew I had to change my mindset. It's all about the mindset. Mm-hmm. How can we change our mindset to do something that to keep up with what's going on in this world today? And I tell you, when my virtual assistant, because I do newsletters for my clients, she said, Wanda, you got to do video. I said, video? What do you mean video? Well, I had to actually do videos on my newsletter, and I realized that actually got more captivated audience, right? Mm-hmm. So by people seeing you, and now being on Facebook, people know who Wanda Pearson is, because I took that leap of faith to get out there and start doing this. And that's why I tell people, you may not like this, but this is what you got to do. So you're right. It's a different world. And it's going to be all different, because I'm going to tell you, things are not promised to us, so you got to actually step out. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to say.
Fantastic, Wanda. I'm going to share this with you, and then we're going to have some wrapping ideas. If you're in the listening audience, definitely, if you have a question, put that in the question box. If we can't get to your question for some reason today, I promise you, we'll get you an answer. We probably already talked about it or thought about it, or between the three of us, there's a manual. There's something that we can be able to share with you that will help you over whatever crisis or whatever issue you're dealing with. Don't feel like you can't. If you got a business that you want to share with us, again, put that information in the chat. I see my girl Selran is here, and I can't go without saying, a shout out to my lady, Miss Nancy Wyatt. Nancy is the empath, the person who can talk to you about your intuition, help you get your act together, write it better, talk about it better, say it better. Nancy's amazing. So thank you that you're here. She told me earlier she fell asleep. So she didn't make the show earlier because she was asleep. But you're awake now, Nancy. So put your information in the chat and let's make sure you share it we share it with everybody else. Okay, so what I want to share with you, I told you I'm a geek. I told you that, I write. I feel like I'm Alexander Hamilton. I write all the time. I create so much training. I create so many different ideas, and I'm always researching and studying some way to be better, and help somebody else be better. And so, I told you earlier, I've been answering questions for entrepreneurs for the last 30 years. Every week, people give me questions, and I go back and I answer those questions. Or if I don't know the answer to the question, then that means I got to write a manual about it. And so I've got books written on my hard drive that I haven't released. That's all about how do people get to where they need to get to and what they need to go. And this is a haiku of mine that I just created last night, and it's about planning. And I just for giggles decided, you know what, I'm gonna write a haiku. But it really expresses everything that I want people to understand. So pay attention. If you have a thought about it, definitely hit me up with that. But here it is. The highest plans in togetherness be through us, all established by the universe, forever recognizing we before me. The highest plans in togetherness be through us all, established by the universe, forever recognizing we before me. If you are out there thinking somehow Marvin is telling you that you, the individual, is important, you lost your mind. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying, if you're doing it, if you're a true entrepreneur, if you're a true business person, you're putting together products and services, you're putting together ideas, you're leading other people. And in that, it is never about you. It is all about the we. So when you say this is happening, it's not, I didn't make it happen. We made it happen. And I promise you, if you look at it really and think about it, it is a we thing, because none of us learned anything by ourselves without somebody else having to share it with us. None of us got anywhere by ourselves without somebody else having to open the door and allow us to come in. None of us ever do anything alone. We need to stop this whole nonsense that it's all about me. It's all about the I. It's all about what I want to do, what I want to contribute, what I want. No, 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 no. Yes, what you want to do and your gifts and your talents are important, but they're only important in relationship with others. Kwame Nkrumah, who's some of you all may not Kwame Nkrumah, Kwame Ture. Some of you all know him as Stokely Carmichael. Once said to me, and I remember sitting at his feet as a student at Kent State University. And he said to me that the best thing we could ever do, and as anybody, is organize, organize, organize. Because as a people, we are always stronger than any individual. So our power as a people, togetherness, unity, right? That power is always stronger than any individual can ever come up with or present or be a part of. It's a superpower that if we're smart, we learn how to harness before we do anything else. How do we come together? How do we create and present amazing teams? How do we do it in a way that make us limitless in our power, in our capacity, and in our ability to move forward? It's we before I. And if you get anything else out of anything I shared with you guys, get that. I got some ideas here that I'm going to throw that up there. Miss Nancy is telling us how to get in contact with her, and there she is. And I've got I got to tell you guys about this. I got a workshop coming up on the 11th of December. It's going to be a virtual all-day workshop, and it's going to be about a program that I created for True Voice. Now, True Voice is really helping you come up with the techniques to make sure that what you're saying, no matter what you're saying is being heard by the right people. So it's about the alignment. We talked about that earlier, right? Between your message and your people. When your message and your people are aligned, that's where you make magic happen. So if you understand who your target market is and you're not talking to them specifically, then you're missing the point. Or if you are saying stuff that is great stuff, but you don't understand how to communicate it well to your target audience, your target market, then again, you're missing the point. You cannot create greatness through misalignment. You can only create greatness through alignment of your message. And that's what this conference is all about. We're going to break down the secrets, the 5 secrets to making sure that everything you say and do is in perfect alignment with your target audience. Man, you can't say that you didn't have you had an excuse, because if you know me, you know I give away free tickets and stuff. You know, if you reach out to me and give me the sad story, that I'm probably going to get you a free ticket. But don't let it be an excuse that you couldn't afford it to come to this program. Again, that's December 11th. It's going to be from the morning, probably about 7 a.m. We'll get started with some of the keynote speakers and some of the sponsors. I got some amazing sponsors, by the way, who are coming through. Hopewell House is a mental health organization that I really believe in, and they're going to be a key sponsor, but they're also going to be a key beneficiary of everything we raise to this particular conference. So they're going to be coming through. Of course, the local Chamber of Commerce, the Central Fairfax Chamber of Commerce, is coming through as a sponsor, and Schoolie Mitchell, which is an amazing organization, they're also coming through as a sponsor. And without them, there'd be no way we could put this together and do this well and make sure it's done correctly. And so I would really love to have anybody share it with me. I'm going to put the information in the chat as soon as I figure out how to do that, because I'm doing 2 things at one time. As I'm taking care of that, is any of you have anything you want to share with our audience that we haven't already talked about?
Well, if I can do a shameless plug.
Go for it.
I have 2 things that's going on. GovPros, it's govprosvcs.com. That is the government procurement marketplace platform. If you know anyone who is well versed in government contracting space, we would love to have them as service providers on the platform. Yes, we would love the government contractors to come over as well. But right now, my focus is on getting the service providers onto the platform, getting them vetted, making sure that they have all the skill sets and expertise needed so that we can begin offering up all our services. January 2022, we have our iOS app and we have our Google Play. Our app is in Google Play and in Apple Store. So great with that. And builditnation.live. Anyone who has content, if you are a content creator and you have content that's geared towards small businesses, entrepreneurs, or professionals, builditnation.live is a place that you're going to want to grow into, because everything on that site, everything we're going to be doing is for those people, small business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals. So if you have products, if you wanna be a part of a roundtable, we're doing all things to give us a bigger reach to people. Currently on the, I think it's about a little over 3,100 people on the groups, a little more in other places. So our reach is getting bigger and bigger. And so anyone who wants to, I do not need this for myself. It's if you do what we do and you want to put yourself in front of more people, just let me know. I welcome it. If you want to do your lives and have your live stream on there, let me know. You give me the link, I'll upload it into our system. Boom, it goes live, and it will go live everywhere on all the social media pages, on all social media pages. It goes everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn,
Wow.
and the website. So
Wow.
yeah, it took me a while. I had been working on planning that thing out for quite some time, and I just want to
You all
give
heard it right
us
here,
a
ladies and
place to
gentlemen.
be able to.
I put the link right down there so you can just go and get it. You can get it in your chat box. You can get it in your on your Facebook, whether you're YouTube. Don't let this slip by you. This is an amazing opportunity that Gail has brought to the table. Thank you so much, Gail.
You
That
are
is
welcome.
super, 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 super. And we got some more stuff that came through the private chat. Let me just say here. Oh, look at that there, Miss Wanda. She is not slipping. She is making sure it's
I,
taken care of the
I'm
business.
home. I'm home.
I see.
Thank
I
God, because there's
love
some
it.
crazy people driving out there. So thank God.
I love it, love it, love it. If you all need to get in contact with Wanda, here she is. And I also want to invite you all to an opportunity, if you haven't already done so, join me on LinkedIn, because that's where I play. I have currently well over 20,000 connections on LinkedIn. I am actively engaged. I try to make sure that the people that I connect with, I always try to help them find business. And so if you're not in my LinkedIn connection, yeah, absolutely should be, because that's where a lot of the magic happens for me. In fact, 80%, I would say, of my business has consistently come from LinkedIn, before COVID and after COVID. And I was one of those early LinkedIn adopters. I think when LinkedIn first started, I was one of the first people on the East Coast to have it. And not to toot my own horn, but shameless plug. Thank you for letting me do that, Gail. I probably have more recommendations and endorsements on LinkedIn than any coach that you know. And so, if you don't believe me, go and challenge it. Go check out the profile, check it out yourself. And it's not just because people just say good things about me. They say those good things about me because I do good things. I try to make sure that I live that life, and I don't want to be the person that just talks it and can't walk it. And so I always say you got to back it up. And the people that say the things about you that they say about you are your backup. And so when you don't say, Marvin is talking a whole bunch of yip yang, he doesn't know what he's talking about, whatever that is, go check the references. Don't believe me. Go check the references. And that way you'll know that you're dealing with a person who's authentic, just like Gail said, a person who is true, a person who, to the best of his ability, is going to do what he says and make it happen. Now, everybody's human. We all make mistakes and we all fall a little bit, but that doesn't mean we got to stay down just because we fell down, right? So, I'm with you guys. And I hope you'll be with me. Ladies, I would love it if you would stay backstage for the show a little bit, because I want to talk to you, and I want to definitely talk to all, get you guys to understand who each other really is. And so let's spend a couple minutes with each other, and I'm going to close the show out. Okay.
Okay.
So don't go nowhere. Okay. So now, you guys have had a fantastic show. I hope that you are excited. I hope that you learned something. I pray that everything that you want in your life and in your business comes to fruition for you. I believe in you if no one else does. Let's make sure that we keep the small business community tight. Let's make sure that we stay connected together. I don't care if you're a woman-owned business, if you're a disabled veteran, or you're transgender, or whatever it is that considers you, puts you in that minority box. Let's make sure that we take care of each other to the best of our abilities. And don't believe that anything anybody ever says about what you can't do. Just like Wanda said, and Wanda's father said, you can do it. So you don't got to ask yourself what you can do. You can do it. So I had a great time. Let's do this again next week. Next week we're going to be finishing up the last step of the 9-step process. We're going to be talking about, really, now that you've done everything, you've put together an amazing team. You've got them all, trusting and believing in each other. You've got that plan now. It's time to execute. Right? That's when the rubber meets the road. When you're really going to get down to doing the thing that you want to do, that your team has come together and created. And when you execute flawlessly, I promise you, there is nothing that will stop you. Even if you don't get the things done that you want to get done, you will get amazing things done. Things that you will be proud of, that you can say, this is what we did. Again, it's about we, not me. I love you very much. Thank you very much. I will see you in the winner's circle. This is Coach Powell, and I'm signing off. This has been a great show, guys.